Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. One of the season's most eagerly awaited new musicals is the epic King Kong, and we're here on opening night to celebrate with the company. On the role of Ann Darrow. Your Ann Darrow is so fierce. Who is she?
She is a combination of my grandmother and my mother and my aunts and Mom's Mabley and famous actors from the 30s. She's sort of a hodgepodge of all these incredible women that have come before me, and I'm just sort of doing my best to try to give them praise.
It's like you're doing two shows. You're doing this intimate little show with the beautiful words of Jack Thorne, then you're doing this big spectacle. What's that like?
It's crazy. I mean, it's insane. I oftentimes try to sort of forget that Kong exists so that our play seems like just that, a nice, intimate piece of storytelling, so that Kong sort of comes out of nowhere. And that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like we start something new. We go into this insane adventure picture, and it's incredible.
What was rehearsals like for you, and then putting it up in front of the audience?
Yeah, it felt like for the first month I was in a room with 3 people, and I thought I was putting on a tiny little 3-hander play, like a little tiny thing. And then we were brought on stage and introduced to our 4th leading character, and it took a while for me to adjust, because the instinct is like, do I have to be as big as this thing? Can I still be a human being? And it was a wonderful lesson in patience and presence and being specific. Yeah, it was really cool.
I play Lumpy, who is the cameraman for Carl Denham, but in the end he kind of ends up being the moral voice of the show. And we have this amazing leading man, King Kong, who can communicate, but he can't talk. And so it's great to have a character in the show who can talk about the moral arguments that come up over the course of the play, and give Kong a real voice about what's being done to him and what he has done to everyone else in meeting him in the show.
When you added Kong into the picture, did your lighting change, or did you work the lighting around what he would look like?
Well, we have to sort of be not careful about Kong, but present him in a very particular kind of way. Obviously, the way that he's seen at first is hardly at all, so you don't quite know what's coming. So you create a mystery, which then leads you to actually accept, I think, the reality of him with the puppeteers as an actual performer.
This is such an epic show. You combine so many elements in this show. Direction, choreography, combining the best of LED and sets and the puppetry and everything else, and it's seamless. Was that a challenge?
Yeah, it is. It's about the fluidity of storytelling. We have a real challenge in that we want to get to the gorilla, we want to get in with energy, we want people to be invested in the character. So the story had to be fluid, it had to be quick, and we wanted to use every element of poetry that we could to get us to that island, to get us to in the right place emotionally to meet the beast.
For every writer, I think you're just obsessed with clarity. People understanding what it is you're trying to say, clarity of lyrics, clarity of thoughts, clarity of ideas. And then I also just wanted the cast to feel good about knocking it out of the park, and Christiane Pitts just sang the living hell out of Last of Our Kind, which is a big sort of 11 o'clock number, and that was really exciting to have somebody like Christiane Pitts sing your songs. That's a wonderful experience.
Writing a show where one of your characters isn't available to you to work on the show has been very, very tough, and then just putting it all together and seeing the way that the humans and Kong mixed, it just was a real experience. But I loved it. I've loved every stage of it. My big thing, and the reason why I wanted to do the job, was I wanted the puppet to be able to emote. I wanted to be able to tell a story using the emotion of the puppet, and they're such amazing puppeteers that they managed to deliver that, and so I was ridiculously grateful for them for that.
Were you a big
Kong's so special for me because, look, it's a complicated puppet. It's ridden with technology and all those sort of things. But what I loved about it is it had to carry this really emotional story, and And seeing such a fine actress in Christiani just working so beautifully with this puppet, that for me is the ultimate goal of puppetry, to have something that you create sit so wonderfully on stage with a beautiful actress.